Well, just a few nights ago, many of us stayed up to watch the new year begin. How many of you stayed up all the way? From big city celebrations to small town gatherings, people counted down the final seconds of 2025. From Sydney to Paris to Brazil to right here in Albany, New York. We waited for the sky to light up. We do this every year. We look for the light. Humanity has an ancient hunger for it. We celebrate with fireworks because we crave that moment when darkness is finally broken. But fireworks, as you know, are fleeting. They flash with a thunderous roar, and then they vanish. And it seems like they leave the sky feeling even darker than before. We've all lived that. Moments that seem promising and then faded. Today, on Epiphany Sunday, the Gospel of John introduces us to a different kind of light. The true light. This light does not just decorate the darkness, it overcomes it. It is not a firework that disappears, it is an everlasting light. For you and for me. It stays, it holds, it does not fail us when things get hard and oh so dark. Epiphany means manifestation, which means the revealing of God's glory to all nations. But as we look at our world this week, we see how easily people confuse the flash of power with the light of God. Only days ago, on New Year's Eve, the president offered a public call for peace on earth. You might have heard this. Peace on earth. Just a few days ago. And yet within 48 hours, that rhetoric shifted into the shock of a new war. I have no doubt that you come into this sanctuary this morning with this in your hearts. This follows a Christmas season where the sacred news of the birth of Jesus Christ and Advent of preparing for him, that sacred news was threatened with violence over and over again, with people being abducted on our streets and separated from their families. And on Christmas Day of 2025, the president ordered the United States military to conduct airstrikes in northwest Nigeria. In subsequent interviews, he explicitly described the timing of these lethal strikes as a Christmas present. But friends, people of faith, we must ask, does the light of Christ travel on the tip of a missile? Christ was born into a world of Roman military occupation, where peace was something imposed by force. Yet he did not come to add to the violence. Any light that requires us to describe the destruction of lives as a gift on the day of Christ's birth is not the light of Christmas nor of Epiphany. It is a false light, and there are many false lights in this world to beware of. A flash of human ego that leaves the world in deeper shadows. So here is the question that turns towards us. How will we stand against this violence? And how will we make Christ's peace visible and powerful in the places we actually live and in this nation? In contrast to this roar of weapons, we heard a different voice this week. Just a few days ago also, in his New Year's message on January 1, 2026, Pope Leo delivered an urgent plea for global peace. He called on leaders to disarm our hearts, and reject the illusion that military violence can resolve deep-seated human conflicts. He reminded us that the celebration of Christ's birth must be an occasion for reconciliation, not for the escalation of war. He urged the world to protect all vulnerable populations, regardless of faith, countering any narrative of holy war with a call for universal dignity. John the Baptist came as a witness, a call out of the wilderness to testify to the light. This took courage. And today, we are called to summon that courage and to do the same. To bear witness against falsity means recognizing that that gospel that we know so well and we carry in our hearts is not a weapon for violence. And of this, we need to testify, to set the record straight, because it can get quite distorted. Because there are too many people in power wearing crosses around their necks, while at the same time purveying violence. I have the image of the director of our Homeland Security dancing on New Year's Eve night at a party to Ice, Ice Baby, the song. She wears a cross. We are called to testify to the light and to summon that courage and to set the record straight, because Christ's light enlightens everyone. It does not seek enemies to destroy, and you know that, but it seeks hearts to transform. Jesus, the Messiah, was born into a violent world. We cannot forget that. And yet, he spread peace. And as his followers, we are called to do the same, and we are equipped with his love to do the same as his disciples. John the Baptist came to testify to the light, not to seize power, not to threaten, but to tell the truth. That calling now belongs to us. How will you and I be bold and testify to the peace of Christ through our words, through our hearts and our prayers, and through our action, praying with our feet? I close with a true story that you might well know. It's a story that comes to my mind every time I think about this true light. It's the story of one who shows us how to boldly testify with love. Nelson Mandela. He spent 18 years in prison on Robben Island, and he was locked in a very small, dark cell. And there was one light bulb that they never turned off. It was meant to torture him and break his spirit. But instead, he later wrote, "Man's goodness is a flame that can never be extinguished." He chose not to let bitterness take over. And years later, if you can imagine, he went back to that little dark cell, prison cell. And in the pitch darkness of that prison cell, there was no light bulb, no false light, as he might have called it. He lit a candle in that dark prison cell, not as a symbol of revenge, but of freedom. What happened to him did not destroy the light within him. He changed a nation, not through force, but through reconciliation. And one steady flame proved stronger than immense power. So as we step into 2026, take courage and do not be dazzled by the fireworks of power or the violent flashes of war. Instead, keep looking for that everlasting light of the Word made flesh. We are called to be the candles in a world of war. My brothers and sisters in faith, be the light of peace. And I see that light emanating from you. In a world of falsehood, be brave and bear witness to the true light. In a world shaped by violence, choose peace, everlasting peace. In a world filled with distortion, tell the truth. In a world chasing spectacle, live faithfully. That darkness is real, but it does not win. The Gospel of John, it is written, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness overcometh it not. This is the gospel. Hold these words in your hearts and spirits, and go and be that light. And let us do that together. Amen. And now let us rise as we are able and sing our hymn, number 99, in our hymnal, "Break Forth, O Beauteous Heavenly Light."